Iudex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Neuvillette's banner in the 6.3 version of Genshin Impact is in its final days. But many people are still wondering if they should pull for him or if he's worth the investment in 2026. In this video, we're going to answer that question, going over his current builds, teams, and how much he stacks up to the current meta as a unit that has dominated the game since 2023. Neuvillette is a catalyst unit that deals most of his damage from his special charged attacks. His normal attacks and regular charged attacks don't really deal any meaningful damage, but his special charged attacks, which take some time to charge, deal about 8 instances of hydro damage in a span of 3 seconds. His elemental skill deals an instance of hydro damage and generates 3 hydrospheres that can be absorbed to give him a use of his special charged attack, which I will now call Hydro Pump, without needing to charge it up. His elemental burst deals 3 instances of hydro damage in a large area and generates 6 hydrospheres for him to absorb, effectively giving Neuvillette 2 extra uses of Hydro Pump. It's important to note 3 things though. 1. Hydro Pump doesn't consume any stamina at all. 2. It continuously drains his HP until he's at 50% health. And 3, every hydrosphere he absorbs heals him considerably. His first passive increases the damage of his Hydro Pump, depending on your team triggering different elemental reactions with Hydro. It has 3 stacks, with the last one increasing the damage by 60%. Unfortunately though, his most used teams will only be able to trigger 2 stacks for a 25% damage bonus. His second passive will give Neuvillette a maximum of 30% hydro damage bonus based on his HP. The talent priority is that first you level up his normal attack skill, which includes his Hydro Pump. Then you level his elemental burst, and then his elemental skill. His burst and skill aren't a major part of his damage though. So if you only wish to upgrade one of his abilities, you should definitely go for the normal attacks, so that his special charged attacks get stronger. As for his constellations, remember how I said that most of the time Neuvillette won't trigger his first passive fully? Well, his C1 gives Neuvillette the last stack of that passive and also increases his interruption resistance, with his C2 increasing the crit damage of his special charged attack by up to an extra 42%. His C4 automatically generates a hydrosphere every 4 seconds when Neuvillette is on the field. And his C6 greatly increases the duration of his Hydro Pump, while also providing extra instances of damage on top of that. Now, for his weapons, well, his best weapon is obviously his 5-star signature grimoire, called Tome of the Eternal Flow. But if you're a free-to-play player, don't have it, or don't intend on pulling for it, you can easily just use the craftable 4-star prototype Amber and be done with it. Now for the artifacts. The best set for Neuvillette is Marachos Hunter, but if you don't have it farmed, Heart of Depth and Wanderer's Troop can also work. For his Sands and Goblet, ideally you want HP % on your Sands and hydro damage bonus on your Goblet. But if you have a really cracked HP % Goblet and a bad hydro damage one, you can use the HP 1. For his Circlet, you're normally going to use a crit damage one, but you can use a crit rate one too, depending on your other substats. In terms of teams, Neuvillette is one of, if not the most flexible DPS in the entire game. He has decent synergy with basically everything, and throughout his lifespan, people would often joke about how every sub-DPS or support released after him was actually a secret Neuvillette buff. The most famous team is the Hypercarry team, which consists of Neuvillette, Farina, Zillanon, and Kazuha, but he also has other teams. People would also often run him as a driver for a Hyperbloom team, consisting of Neuvillette, Farina, Bijou, and Kuki Shinobu, or Raidon Shogun. since he and Farina are both constantly applying hydro. You can also use him in a vaporized team with a combination of Xiangling, Durin, Moeka, and Bennett. You can also run a freeze team consisting of the usual Neuvillette plus Farina duo, but with Escafir and Citlali. These are just some of the combinations you can use, as there are many other teams to use him with. As it stands right now, though, Neuvillette's best teams are the lunar wheelchair teams with Inefa and Columbina. In these teams, you could, for example, run Neuvillette and Farina with the lunar duo, or maybe even substitute Farina for Llama. In any case, depending on calculations, his wheelchair teams are usually ranked at around 105 to 120,000 DPS.
In the end, the countless rivers of emotion shall flow into one, and the tumult shall give way to lasting peace.
Now, to conclude this video, is Neuvillette still worth it in 2026? Honestly, he is, yeah. Many people have been clowning on him recently because his best team is the Benefa wheelchair. But he's aged extremely well for a DPS from 2023. He's still probably the most versatile DPS or driver in the game and is extremely easy to play. Of course, he can't really compete with the top carries of early 2026 such as Flynn's, Zibai, and Moeka, but he's not dead or unplayable either. Plus, if you want or need a very good hydro DPS, then well, there's no substitute to be released in the near future as far as we know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so we can reach 50 subs. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day.